The two main scriptures that pretty much summarize what God has done in my life are Psalm 68, verse 6. He puts the lonely into family, and he sets the prisoners free, and he gives them joy. And Romans 8:15, that talks about God coming and giving us a spirit of adoption that enables us to cry out, Abba, Father. I come from a very large family. I'm the 9th born of 10 children. I grew up in Mozambique until the age of 5, and then we moved to Blantyre, Malawi. I moved there with my mom and my siblings, and my dad stayed in Mozambique because he was working for an international NGO. I would say we were like pretty well off to do compared to most people I knew. I had more than enough and I never lacked. But at the age of 8, I remember we left this bougie house in this beautiful affluent area and we moved outside the city. Life just became quite hard financially. There were a lot of times where we didn't know where our next meal would come from. And my mom did her best, like she did everything she could to provide the basic needs for us. But it was really hard. And as a kid, like, you know, the first thing that came to my head was, ooh, we're like poor now because my dad lost his job. And when my dad gets his job, I'm gonna have everything I had. And when I was 10 or 11, I got really sick. At the time in Malawi, I don't think there were any medical facilities that could treat me. So I had to go to Mozambique and I went and I stayed with my dad. And it was during this time that I found out that my dad was seeing another woman. And this woman was expecting his child. I always believed that was my dad's favorite child, you know? And to find out that there was someone else other than me was very hard. I felt very rejected by him. I just felt like he chose this other family over me. And this performance mentality just clicked in because I wanted him to know that I was the best thing that ever happened in his life. I started doing everything I could. I became the best at school, the best in my extramural activities. I even went as far as getting baptized just to impress my dad. When I was 14, my mom got really sick because she has like issues with her heart and high blood pressure. And she couldn't take care of me and my younger sister. My brother, who was staying in Cape Town at the time, offered to take us in. I don't think we really had a conversation about it, so I felt rejected by her. And that wasn't her heart or intention, but that's what I felt. You know, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, there must be something seriously wrong with me. First, my dad rejected me. Now my mom is rejecting me. Like I'm just worthless. This sadness just like overcame me. It just wouldn't go away. It was like a deep-seated sadness. And I remember like a hopelessness as well because I was like, okay, cool, I've done everything to earn love, like everything. And still it's like amounted to nothing. So what's the point of life, you know? What's the point of life if no one is going to love and accept me? To cope with all these emotions, I became addicted to porn. And I created all these imaginary words in my head just to escape. And that's where I spent most of my time, to be honest. And when I was 16, it was so bad. I just felt like I was at the end of myself because I just couldn't carry on with life anymore. But at that time, I moved to a new school and I met this Christian friends who invited me to church. I walked in and everyone was so full of joy. And I was craving that. I was really craving that. But I knew I wasn't ready to commit my life to God, you know? I wasn't ready to let go of my coping mechanisms and let Him be God. And I also wasn't ready to deal with the rejection because I knew He would put His finger on it. And I just didn't want to open that can of worms. I was like, it's closed, it's out of my life-ish, but not really. We're not dealing with that now. So I didn't commit my heart to God. But for some weird reason, which now I can say it's the Holy Spirit, I kept coming back to church and people just kept inviting me to stuff, which was very weird for me because I was like, I'm lame, I'm not trying to earn love, why are you loving me? And they just kept loving on me and welcoming me into their home. And at the same time, I met an eldership couple Yeah, the name Lance and Sue. Yo, they were so stubborn in the way they loved me. I remember the one time I didn't want to come to church because I was having one of my episodes. She came to pick me up and I lied. I was like, I'm not at home. And she's like, okay, cool. She just stayed outside our driveway for like over an hour. And eventually I got annoyed with her and I got in the car and went to church because she wouldn't leave. But that's how stubborn they were in that pursuit of like loving me and including me into family. Because of all the hurt I experienced with father figures in my life, I really didn't like men. Every time Lance would try and approach me or be friend, I'd be like, no, today, don't come close to me. And I was really mean towards him. I was very ugly. And the more I did that, the more he loved me, which didn't make sense. I was like, you're supposed to hate me, but he wasn't hating me. When I turned 17, on my 17th birthday, they threw me a surprise birthday party. I remember walking in and just seeing all these people who, for over a year, have just been loving me. Even though I wasn't trying to earn it, and even though I wasn't this cool kid, they just loved me. And in front of me, Lance was there and he came and he gave me a kiss on my forehead. And there was just something that broke in my heart, like right then and then, because there was this man that I did everything, like absolutely everything for him to hate me. But he didn't, and he just loved me. It was this unmerited love, you know? And my brain just couldn't comprehend it, but I knew it was a glimpse into the Father heart of God. And like in that moment, I told God, I was like, okay, cool, we're doing this. I'm letting go and letting you be God. And through that, God just brought so much healing and gave me joy and gave me hope. He came and showed me what a fatherly love, like what a perfect fatherly love looks like, and what it means to be a daughter in his kingdom, what it means to belong to him and to belong to his family. And now, just looking back to the person I was then and to the person I am now, it's like night and day. And he's just come and restored so much in my life. And my hatred of men is completely gone because, yes, Jesus, now I'm married. He's a God that is faithful, and he's a loving Father. And his heart is for us to know that we are his children. And he did it for me, so he can do the same for you.